Dear brothers and sisters, what comes to your mind when you hear the word Ukraine? I guess you might think about so-called special operation, war, destruction and persecution. However, Ukraine is a very special place on earth. It is called the breadbasket of Europe. Ukraine boasts roughly 42 million hectares of agricultural land. In 2021, the World Food Programme got 40% of its wheat from that country. That was one of the reasons why the attack in this country drew immediate anger from many countries around the world. Ukraine's wheat was the source of life for many nations, but of course, the war changed everything. Even though some ships with wheat leave the port of Odessa, it is not enough, and more people die of hunger because of lack of food. It creates a situation that many find themselves not only living in hunger, but also in the darkness of hate, unforgiveness, and desire for revenge. We don't experience the war in Australia, however, similar feelings can be present in our lives too. Sometimes we find ourselves living in constant conflicts and even rage. Christ's resurrection is an invitation for you and me to reject any form of darkness and to rise from the ashes of sin. It is about welcoming a new kind of life which Jesus offers to each one of us. This Easter day, the risen Lord tells us, accept peace and freedom I offer you. Accept a new kind of life I have prepared for you. You don't have to live in despair and spiritual misery. Those of us who feel disconnected from God and His Church are invited today to rise from the dead and experience the mercy and the love of Jesus. The only thing we need to do is to say yes, nothing more. If you come to church because of tradition, if you think you don't belong to the flock of the Good Shepherd, or if you feel lost in your spiritual life but have desire to experience God's love and mercy, allow Him to find you. I guarantee He will bring you back so you will be able to enjoy the company of other sheep, the members of the church, and feel secure. Don't worry if you feel unworthy or broken. The truth is, many of us who call ourselves committed Catholics used to be lost as well. We remember a lot of bad experiences and are still wounded. We are not perfect. We are vulnerable people in need of God's mercy. But what matters the most is that we were found. We came back to life, and now we are led by Jesus, who patiently takes care of us. We know that we are in God's loving hands. Dear friends, let me use St. Paul's words and invite you today to get rid of all the old years of evil and wickedness, having only the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. Let us implore God's forgiveness and rebuild our spiritual life. This is the time. Let us decide to be authentic Christians of the joyous Alleluia song, so that we can truly experience peace and the presence of the risen Lord. It is not only Pope Francis' call to bring peace to the nations, it is also our vocation to be channels of God's peace and reconciliation in our homes, workplaces, and local communities. May Christ's resurrection become a reality in our lives. Let us be like a life-giving bread and nourish others with generosity, peace, and joy that come from the risen Lord.